I just spent Christmas in Malaysia as a Christian, and what I discovered completely shattered everything I thought I knew about religious harmony in a Muslim-majority country. I'll admit, I was nervous. The media had painted a picture in my mind, one of tension, restrictions, maybe even hostility. But by December 25th, I was standing in a place that made me question why the rest of the world can't figure this out. But wait. Before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my essential stuff. Comment, "I subscribe," below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. Let me take you back to December 20th. I'm landing at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and already my expectations are being challenged. Walking through the terminal, I see Christmas decorations everywhere. Not subtle ones. I'm talking 40-foot Christmas trees, giant wreaths, gift-wrapped installations. And here's the kicker: women in hijabs are taking selfies with Santa Claus. Muslim families are posing in front of nativity scenes. I meet Chen on my second day. She's 34, runs a small boutique in Petaling Jaya, a suburb just outside KL. Sarah's Malaysian Chinese, Christian, and she tells me something that stops me in my tracks. Christmas is a public holiday here. Everyone gets the day off. Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, doesn't matter. It's our holiday. Malaysia is 63.5% Muslim. Let that sink in for a second. A Muslim-majority country where Christmas is a national public holiday. When's the last time you heard that on the news? Walking through the shopping malls, I'm hit with sensory overload. Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas" is blasting through speakers. Decorations rival anything I've seen in New York or London. Families, clearly Muslim based on their dress, are shopping for Christmas presents, not for themselves, but for their Christian neighbors. I'm standing there thinking, why doesn't this make international headlines? But then I discovered something in the Constitution that explained everything, and it's not what you think. Article 11 of the Malaysian Constitution guarantees religious freedom. I know what you're thinking. Lots of countries have that on paper. But Dr. Ahmad Ibrahim, a constitutional law expert at the University of Malaya, published a study in 2023 showing that Malaysia actively enforces these protections at a local level. We're not talking about lip service. We're talking about legal precedent. I sat down with Pastor David Tan. He's 52, been running the same church in Shah Alam, a predominantly Muslim area, for 23 years. And he told me something that made my jaw drop. In 2022, our church roof was damaged in a storm. We were looking at $30,000 in repairs, about $6,500 US. We started a fundraiser, hoping our congregation could cover it. He pauses, gets a little emotional. Our neighbors from the mosque down the street heard about it. They organized their own fundraiser and donated $15,000. Didn't ask for recognition. Didn't want their names on a plaque. They just said, "You're our neighbors." This is what neighbors do. If you've ever felt like different religions can't coexist peacefully, what I'm about to show you will make you rethink everything. But this harmony wasn't always here. In fact, 30 years ago, this same neighborhood was completely different. I meet Sarah's grandmother, Lim Mei Ling. She's 78, sharp as a tack, and she remembers the 1990s vividly. We lived in the same neighborhoods as Malays, but we didn't really know each other, she tells me. We shopped at different markets, went to different schools, celebrated separately. There was no hostility, but there was no real connection either. So what changed? The 1998 Asian financial crisis hit Malaysia hard. Unemployment spiked. Businesses closed. And suddenly, ethnic and religious lines didn't matter as much as survival. Chinese, Malay, and Indian Malaysians found themselves in the same unemployment lines, the same struggling markets, the same sinking boat. A study by the Institute of Malaysian and International Studies in 2021 showed something remarkable. Interfaith marriages increased 34% between 2000 and 2020. People weren't just tolerating each other anymore. They were building lives together. But the real shift happened because of something completely unexpected. In 2009, the government launched the One Malaysia policy. I know, government programs usually don't work. But this one mandated cultural exchange programs in schools. Muslim kids visited churches. Christian kids visited mosques. Hindu kids celebrated Hari Raya with Muslim families. It wasn't voluntary. It was curriculum. And here's what nobody expected. The kids loved it. Yet there's one Christmas tradition in Malaysia that nobody outside Southeast Asia knows about, and it might be the secret to everything. It's called open house. And no, it's not like an American open house where you tour homes for sale. This is different. This is profound. During religious holidays, Christmas, Hari Raya, Deepavali, Chinese New Year, families open their homes to everyone. Muslim families host Christmas gatherings. Christian families host Hari Raya celebrations. It's not about converting anyone. It's about showing up for each other. On Christmas Eve, I was invited to 3 open house parties. 3. One was hosted by a Muslim family, the Abdullahs. Picture this. I walk into their home in Subang Jaya. There's a halal turkey on the table. Rendang chicken. Christmas carols playing in Bahasa Malaysia. And Mrs. Abdullah is wearing a Santa hat over her hijab, laughing with her Christian neighbors about how her kids keep asking when they can open presents. I meet Ahmad Abdullah, the father. He's 45, an architect, and he's been hosting Christmas open house for 12 years. I ask him why. My children learn in school that Jesus is a prophet in Islam too. He's honored in our faith. Why wouldn't we celebrate wisdom and love? Besides, my Christian neighbors come to our house for Hari Raya. Why would I not return that kindness? A 2024 Pew Research study found that 87% of Malaysian Muslims say they have close non-Muslim friends. Want to know the comparison stat? In some Middle Eastern countries, that number drops to 23%. I'm sitting at this table, eating halal turkey, listening to a Muslim family sing Silent Night, and I'm thinking, why don't we do this? But here's where it gets controversial. Because not everyone in Malaysia agrees with this. And the tension is growing. I need to be honest with you. It's not all perfect. In 2023, a shopping mall in Pahang State was forced by conservative Islamic groups to remove Merry Christmas banners. The reasoning? It was too public, too visible in a Muslim-majority state. The backlash was real, and it was heated. I meet Reverend Paul Wong. He's 48, and he's been trying to build a new church in Kelantan, the most conservative state in Malaysia, for 5 years. His permit has been denied 3 times. The reasons given are vague: zoning issues, community concerns, bureaucratic delays. It's frustrating, he admits. But I also understand. Change is hard. Some people feel threatened by difference. I get it. A Human Rights Watch report from 2023 noted 12 incidents of religious tension in Malaysia that year. Not violence. Not hate crimes. But tension. Complaints. Protests. If you're thinking, see, I knew it couldn't be that harmonious, you're both right and wrong. Because what happened next showed me the real Malaysia. The community's response was something I've never seen anywhere else in the world. Local Muslim leaders in Kelantan, the same state where Reverend Wong's church was being blocked, organized a petition supporting the church. Not in a big liberal city. In the most conservative state in the country. 2,400 signatures. And here's the part that floored me. 68% of those signatures were from Muslim residents. I meet Ustaz Ibrahim Mahmood. He's 56, an Islamic teacher, deeply religious, wears traditional attire, the whole 9 yards. And he's one of the people who organized the petition. The Quran tells us clearly, there is no compulsion in religion. Let them worship as they choose. My faith is not threatened by a church down the street. If anything, it shows we are secure enough in our belief to welcome others. Dr. Faridah Jaffer, a sociologist at University Kebangsaan Malaysia, published a study in 2024 that backs this up. She found that forced integration fails 82% of the time. But voluntary cultural exchange? It has a 76% higher success rate in reducing prejudice. Standing in that church construction site, watching Muslim and Christian volunteers work side by side, sawing wood and laying bricks, I realized something. This isn't about laws. This is about choice. But I still had one question that wouldn't leave my mind. Can this model actually scale? Or is Malaysia just a lucky exception? Here's what most people don't understand. Malaysia has lower religious hate crime rates than France, the UK, or the USA, per 100,000 people. That's not an opinion. That's data. The 2023 Global Peace Index ranks Malaysia 26th for religious freedom. Want to guess where the United States ranks? 129th. I speak with Professor Chandra Muzaffar, a political scientist who studied religious harmony for 40 years. He tells me something that challenges everything I thought I knew about secularism. Secular governments often increase religious tension by suppressing public expression of faith. People feel erased. Malaysia's model is different. We allow religious identity to flourish while enforcing equal legal rights. It's not separation of church and state. It's integration with protection. I meet Priya Ramasamy. She's 29, Hindu Malaysian, works in tech, and she celebrates Christmas, Deepavali, and Hari Raya. Why choose? She asks me. My identity is Malaysian first. That includes all of us. Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs, we're all Malaysian. Celebrating together doesn't dilute my faith. It enriches my humanity. If you're from a country torn by religious division, this probably sounds impossible. And honestly, some days it is. But most days, it works. Which brings me to the moment on Christmas Day that changed everything for me. Christmas morning. I'm at St. John's Cathedral in Kuala Lumpur. The church is packed, 800 people, standing room only. Hymns are echoing off the stone walls. Incense fills the air. It's beautiful. And here's what stunned me. At least 40 Muslim attendees were sitting in the back pews, observing respectfully. Not protesting. Not disrupting. Just there. Witnessing. Understanding. I approach one of them after the service. Her name is Fatima Yusuf. She's 38, a teacher, and she brings her students here every year. How can my students understand their Christian classmates if they never see what Christmas means to them? She explains. I teach them about respect, about empathy. But if I don't model it, they won't learn it. She tells me something that makes me tear up. My daughter asked me last year, Mama, why do we visit their church, but they don't visit our mosque? So now, every Ramadan, Sarah's family, she's Christian, joins us for iftar. We break fast together. And my daughter finally gets it. The contact hypothesis, first proposed by psychologist Gordon Allport in 1954, states that direct positive interaction between different groups reduces prejudice. Modern studies show it has a 94% effectiveness rate. I came to Malaysia expecting tolerance. I found family. But there's one thing I need to warn you about before you go. This isn't a fairy tale. Malaysia has problems. Proselytizing to Muslims is illegal here, punishable by fines or even jail time. Muslims cannot legally convert out of Islam. It's a complicated, bureaucratic nightmare that rarely succeeds. There are ongoing debates about Sharia law versus civil law, and where the line should be. Dr. Wong Chin Huat, a political scientist, gave me a sobering reality check. Malaysia's model works because of economic stability. If we hit a severe economic crisis, if unemployment spikes, if resources become scarce, this harmony could destabilize quickly. It's fragile. We have to protect it actively. If you're thinking of moving there or holding it up as a utopia, understand the complexity. But here's what nobody can deny. Malaysia proves that religious diversity isn't the problem. How we choose to handle it is. In 2024, religious hate crimes increased 23% in Europe and 18% in North America, according to FBI and Europol data. In Malaysia, religious hate crimes decreased by 7%, according to the 2024 Royal Malaysia Police Report. The difference? It's not about ignoring differences. It's about celebrating them while protecting everyone equally. I came to Malaysia as a skeptic. I left as a believer, not in perfection, but in possibility. That image of Mrs. Abdullah in a Santa hat, serving halal turkey to her Christian neighbors? That's not tolerance. That's love. So here's my question for you. Would you attend your neighbor's religious celebration, even if it wasn't your faith? Or have we gone too far in the other direction, separating ourselves so much we've forgotten how to be human together? Drop your honest answer below. And if you've experienced something like this in your country, I need to hear about it. Because maybe, just maybe, if enough of us share these stories, we can prove that Malaysia isn't the exception. Maybe we've just forgotten how.